In other news this Sunday evening, jury deliberations resume tomorrow in the Bob Lee murder trial.
Jurors are weighing 21 days of testimony and thousands of pieces of evidence. And as our Kelsey Thurr reports, their job is not as simple as it may seem.
After 2 days without a verdict, jurors are set to resume deliberations in the Bob Lee murder trial Monday morning. Criminal defense attorney Shannon Dugan was in the courtroom for the entirety of the trial. She says jurors now have the task of combing over thousands of pieces of evidence to reach a verdict.
I think they're trying, amidst 6 weeks of testimony and evidence presented by both sides, to determine if Nebo Momeni killed Bob Lee without any legal justification like self-defense, and if the DA has proven that beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah, that's really interesting. You know, there's always that kind of line of thinking that the longer the deliberation, the more likely potentially it could be a not guilty, verdict. I guess how do you feel about the length of deliberation right now and kind of how the jury has been handling their instructions and moving through this?
I mean, you're right. Typically, the longer a jury is out, the better for the defense is generally the perception. If everybody agrees quickly on the evidence and on the law, they could come back with a verdict of guilty faster. Although there's always the exceptions. But I also think this jury's working really hard to get it right. I think they shoulder a heavy responsibility for both sides, and they're taking their job very seriously.
Dugan says it's not as simple as did Momeni kill Lee or not. She says the jury actually has a variety of ways they could go.
They have several alternatives. So the single charge right now is first-degree murder. That means murder with premeditation and intent, that Bob Lee Nebo Momeni intended to kill Bob Lee and that he planned it. So that's the first-degree murder charge. But there are lesser included offenses, and those are manslaughter charges. If the jury finds that Nebo Momeni may have acted in self-defense, but his fear of Bob Lee was not reasonable, that would be imperfect self-defense, and that would be a voluntary manslaughter conviction. And so there's also an involuntary manslaughter conviction, which is essentially criminal negligence. So yeah, they have several alternatives, and that could be another reason why this is taking so long. They have a lot to consider in the jury room.
And deliberations will continue on Monday. We'll be ready to bring you the verdict when the jury reaches one. You can catch up on our coverage of this trial on our website, KPIX.com, and the free CBS News app.